The Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife was the best-selling knife in the world in 2011. But how much of its popularity is based on the Bear Grylls celebrity, and how much is based on quality? I'm going to test this knife and see. We'll start out in my kitchen using the Ultimate Survival Knife as culinary cutlery. The Ultimate isn't designed to be a kitchen knife, but it does all right. The Ultimate has a 5-inch blade with a drop point. The handle fits my hand very well, and it's non-slip. A small whistle comes with it, and this is designed to fit in the end here, so it'd be kind of a lanyard. The sheath is a combination of plastic and webbing. On the back there is a set of instructions for air rescue signals. This is a good idea. I don't like this belt loop. It's too narrow and it will only fit on about a 1-inch belt. What I would do would be add a D-ring like this right there. And that'll enable this to swing freely on a lanyard or a carabiner or something like that, so you can put it on the outside of your pack. As it stands right now, the only way to carry this would be if you could run your belt through these loops or this way. And in either case, the belt would have to be pretty narrow. The sheath does hold the knife pretty securely. It's not going to really bounce out, I don't imagine, unless you did some serious falling or something like that. The front of the sheath is held with Velcro. When it opens up, then you have this sharpening area. It's a diamond type stone or something like that. To use the diamond sharpener, you would just draw the edge of the knife like that, drawing it equally both ways. You would not want to cut towards your fingers. If you don't know how to use this, it's not going to do you much good. Part of the kit I really don't like is this pocket guide. It has a lot of stuff in it that is just not good information. I pulled it out and I put a big X through everything that was, I thought, a waste of time. And here are some of them. Some of these shelters you can't make with just a knife and no paracord or anything like that. This signaling requires a shiny blade knife to refract the light. It's not happening with this. Fire making, a fire saw is probably the hardest way to rub two sticks together and get fire. And then on the other side, how to make a solar still. These don't work. Then they have some snares here. Neither of these would be very useful to you unless you knew a lot about animals, their habits, and trapping. I think that this guide is a waste of time. If you have to take a guide with you to tell you what to do in a survival situation, you're not going to make it. The ferrocerium rod stays in front of the sheath, comes out pretty easily. One thing you want to make sure you do when you use it is use it first. You have a lot of paint or coating on that, and it's going to stop the spark from developing. So how you would use this would be, you have an area right here on the blade, hope you can see that, that's been designed specifically for this. You would hold this in one hand, hold this in your left hand, and this is how you're going to use it. And it will spark. Generally at this point of most knife reviews, they'll take the blade out, they'll pound it through a piece of firewood, or they'll baton something. By batoning we mean holding it here and then hitting this with a stick or a rock or something. I don't consider that a particularly good test of any blade. You can baton firewood with a butter knife, and you can pound any sharp edge through virtually anything. What will happen if you use this knife for batoning? It'll be okay. It probably won't break. It's got a pretty good thickness there, and it's pretty solid. Now I'm going to do a test to see how long this blade retains its edge. It's shaving sharp right now, and I'm going to start cutting cardboard. And we're just going to see how long it takes to dull it up. I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, I cut up that piece of cardboard, and the knife will still shave. I'm going to get some more. So here's another piece of cardboard, and I'm going to whittle away here. I'll finish this off and get back with you. And it's still going strong. I'm not having a whole lot of trouble shredding this cardboard. So I've cut up this cardboard and I have taken the razor edge off of this. Now I'm going to go hit it with a butcher's steel and see what it takes to restore that edge. This is my granddad's butchering steel. I've been using it for a long time. He used it for a long time too. Anyway, this is how you use it. You draw it this way. And what you're doing is honing the edge. So I'm outside now and I'm going to do a little whittling. I got this stick that's wet and just nasty. And we're going to see how long this edge lasts on it. This is some old pine. Not very good stuff at all. So now let's see what the edge looks like. So let's try that paper test again. See what happens here. Oh. Ah. Okay. Yeah, it appears that that little bit of whittling took the edge right off of that blade. So I guess my final analysis would be I'm kind of lukewarm on this Ultimate knife. Steel appears to be a little soft and it shouldn't require sharpening that quickly. The other is that you're spending a lot for the name and also some doodads that aren't going to do you much good. Like that. The knife sharpener on the back is a good idea. But the problem is always going to be, do you know how to use one of these? Sharpening a knife with a whetstone or with one of these diamond sharpeners requires some skill. I paid 50 bucks for this knife. It's probably okay. It's probably a good enough knife. But there are better options. This is a Mora. I've carried it for several years, obviously. It's got a 4-inch blade. It's set up very nicely. It cost me $15. It's been used several times on deer and elk. This is my old standby. This is the SRK made by Cold Steel. I've carried this one about 20 years. It has dressed out at least 50 deer and several elk. It's a well-designed knife, full tang, and it's done everything I've needed for most of its career. I don't anticipate getting rid of it. In the final analysis, you are going to be the one who decides what gear works best for you. But whatever you get, make sure you check it out, test it, and that it's a good product. A survival knife is one of those pieces of gear you can't afford to compromise quality on. This is Leon Pattenberg with Survival Common Sense. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.